Willie D Live.
I'll make, things better for women. This country is more sexist than it is racist. I'll make better policies for women to get ahead.
I don't know about that.
This country is more sexist than racist. Let me tell you why.
Racism, boy. This motherfucker
but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And I said it in my show the other night. Black men had the right to vote before white women. Black men had the right to vote before white women. We came from being slaves and being considered glorified pets and three-fifths human. We can vote, and white women still couldn't vote. That's more sexist than it is racist.
We had the right to vote before they did, but once they got the right to vote, they didn't have to worry about getting hit in the head while voting.
True, but we still
so a lot of the stuff that happened, that we got, is really like. It was meant to, to
keep us down.
To really keep. Nothing really was ever put in place, implemented by this country ever to actually help us.
Right. A lot of it was for show.
All of it, it was a trick bag.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So that's why even when they started talking about COVID, hey, the blacks going to be the first ones to get the shot.
Right.
They're like, nah, hold on, skirt.
Right.
Because I know in this country, there has never been a time where there was a crisis in this country and black people were among the first to benefit from relief. That's never happened.
That's true.
And that's not going to happen.
That's true.
Not under the current system.
Welfare wasn't designed for black people in the beginning.
It wasn't. It was, and then but they said, since y'all want some, if you want some, we're going to need y'all to separate.
Yeah. Take the dad out the home. So no father figure.
Why would anybody think that would be a good idea? Why would anybody
They knew it wasn't a good idea. It was a good idea for them.
Exactly.
But it wasn't a good idea for us.
Right.
Yeah. So, and we're not anti-American. We're just anti-bullshit.
Right.
Quit the bullshit. We're as American as you are.
The thing about it is that, like me and you are having this conversation, and we're straight up telling people, look, man, we're not this, we're not that. We're telling you who we are and what we mean. You don't have to try to conceptualize it. We're telling you what it is.
Right.
You don't have to try to figure out what it is.
Right. No chaser.
But, when you get a couple white guys have this same exact conversation, their patriotism is never questioned.
Right. Right.
Their loyalty to this country is never questioned. Right. It's just that you got a couple white guys, you got two angry white guys. You know what I'm saying? Two angry white guys.
No, not angry. They're passionate.
Yeah. Well,
we're the one called angry,
but they can,
even though we're passionate.
But they can be called angry and still be considered patriots.
True.
They're
and passionate about the country.
They're rebels, but if we speak on it, and that is because, how they have conditioned this society to view us.
Trust me, America did a great job on vilifying black people to the world. They did great job at vilifying us because you look at. I saw this post the other day where they had these young kids, they had these faces, cartoon faces from white to white to Asian, I guess, to dark. And they would say, point to the bad person, and the little kid pointed to the black face. The color that was colored brown.
The black kid pointed to the black.
Right, even the black, yeah. And point to the person who's mean or angry, and they pointed to the black face. Point to the person who's happy. It was a white face. Mm-hmm. Point to the person who's safe. It was the white face. See, racism is a learned behavior. No one's born that way. It's a learned behavior. You have to learn that because our color of our skin, that this people are this and that people are that. It's a learned behavior. We're not born that way. So somebody's teaching them that. That's why I always say, if you're more racist than your grandparents, you're a cracker. Period. Because you can understand if your great grandparents was a little bit racist, because that's the time. That was a sign of the times. They didn't have to be, but you get it. But if you're young, if you Gen X and Gen Z and you still racist,
Not
yeah, you
only-
really want to be racist.
Yeah.
You've been taught that you really want to be, because now at that age, you should have learned by now that it's wrong. And we all know right from wrong.
Right.
Dogs know right from wrong. They know when they shit in the wrong place, they look at you with a little sheepish look. Or if a kid does something no they ain't supposed to be doing, they look at you. They all know right from wrong. Everybody know right from wrong. So you know racism is wrong. And you do it anyway.
I always say that, for people, this is a shoe fit wear statement.
If the shoe fit, wear that motherfucker.
For those out there who are racist, they really get offended when you call them a racist, and I just don't
Guilt.
understand. I just don't understand, how are you so offended by being called a racist when you work so hard to be one?
I tell you,
You know
why.
what I'm saying? Like, you go out your way to be one, but you get mad when somebody call you one. It's like
Right.
It's like somebody calling you a nice guy. You going out your way. You go out
Right.
your way to be nice.
Right.
And people say, you're nice, and you go and you accept it. You're
Right.
like,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
I think white folks who are racist like that need
Right.
to get used to saying thank you when people call them racist.
Right.
Because
that's
they
just
go
who
out
you
of their
are.
way to be racist.
But you only get offended if something's true. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If something's true, you get offended because it's true and you're being called out on it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call you a murderer or a thief, you ain't get offended by it because you probably never murdered anybody before, never stole anything like that before. But if you're that thing, it's like you see me. It's like calling somebody who's in the closet who's gay, and they're in the closet about it. You call them gay, they get offended. Oh God, call me gay all day. I know I ain't gay, so they don't offend me. If you gay, you gay. Be happy about it. Say, hey, I'm gay, and live your life. Live your best gay life. But if you're hiding and you in the closet, you on the down low, and somebody call you gay, you get offended. Why did you get offended? You can't offend me with any title that I'm not. Period. That
See,
dude called me a nigga that day. He
Yeah.
called me a nigga, and I punched him because I'm a nigga.
I was about to say, I got a slightly different take on that, because
Okay.
if somebody can, I know I'm not a bitch, but if somebody call me that and they in striking distance, they know I'm gonna knock them the fuck out.
Yeah, so, yo,
You know what I'm
bitch
saying?
ass nigga.
Because it's disrespectful. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just being
Right,
disrespectful. But these cowards, of course, they say anything on the internet.
Oh, man.
But
Trigger fingers.
but they know if I could reach out and touch their asses, I'd fold them like a lawn chair.
I'm gonna tell you, like Tupac, like Joe told Tupac, you got too much to lose now.
Nah.
Have somebody else do that. Have somebody else do that. You got too much to lose. We need you. We
Well,
need this
the
this
point-
platform. We need your voice. Have somebody else do it.
The point is that, a motherfucker know what time it is.
Right, right.
That's
Don't
what
try
it-
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know that. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Man. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm glad you came by, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. I've been looking at the show and like, man, one day I want to do that motherfucker
I
show.
appreciate that, man.
It's an honor, man. I appreciate you having me, bro.
It's an honor to have you on the show, man. Especially somebody with the resume that you have, with the character you have. You stand on business.
Yes, sir.
You one of the few, that a person can look at in this game, especially, and say that's a solid dude.
God got me, man. I ain't worried about anything. God got me.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Guy Torry.
Man, appreciate you, man.
No more
Willie D.
talking.